Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Kortensia. We begin this morning with the weather. It is partly sunny with a 20% or a slight chance of showers, a high of 86 and a low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit.
I could have made some money from you.
Your numbers.
72, lucky numbers.
I would never guess, because you're always almost correct.
There you go. Well, hey, it's good to know. That is so good to know. You heard it here first.
Oh, lovely.
All right, so we take this moment, this is an affirmation, we take this moment to encourage all of our viewers that you have the power to make today better than yesterday. So we want to let you know that you have the power to make today better than yesterday. All right,
that's a lovely
great affirmation. Indeed. All right, we continue with the latest in local news. Parliamentarians, past and present, extol the late His Excellency Vance Amory as a visionary leader, and this by way of a Nevis Island administration press release. The late Ambassador Honorable Vance Wentworth Amory, former Premier of Nevis and parliamentarian in the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis, has been hailed a visionary leader and a statesman whose principles should be emulated by the politicians of today. The many virtues of Mr. Amory, the longest-serving Premier of Nevis, were highlighted by former and present members of the National Assembly and the Nevis Island Assembly during a special sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly held in his honor at Hamilton House on April 19, 2022. The Honorable Mark Brantley, Premier of Nevis and Minister of Foreign Affairs in the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, said, "It was an honor to have served as Mr. Amory's deputy." Premier Brantley said, quote, "Vance Amory was loved and revered by most. He was respected not only as a role model, but also as a pioneer. As a pioneer, he opened doors and created opportunities for the next generation to build upon." End quote. Dr. the Right Excellent and Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Simmons, a former Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis and the sole living national hero of the Federation, said he first came to know Ambassador Amory many decades ago through their involvement with cricket. Former Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition in the Federal Parliament, the Honorable Dr. Denzil Douglas, said, while himself and the former Premier bumped heads in the political arena, there was a cordiality and friendliness with which they conducted their business.
Oh, sweet words.
Indeed.
And continued condolences to his family. We continue now with story number 2. Ministry of Health denies oxygen shortage at the hospital. From a Ministry of Health. This from a Ministry of Health press release. The Ministry of Health was recently made aware of several social media posts claiming that there is a lack of oxygen supply at the J.N. France General Hospital. The ministry categorically denies these claims. The claims are spurious and mischievous, and the ministry condemns this falsehood as an attempt to foster negative sensationalism to bring the institution and the ministry into disrepute. The ministry hereby emphatically informs the general public that there is and has always been adequate amount of oxygen at the hospital. Furthermore, the Ministry of Health is aware of 2 recent fatalities central to these claims and wishes to extend profound condolences to the grieving families on the loss of their loved ones. The ministry would also like to inform the public that the circumstances surrounding both deaths are being further reviewed and the families will be informed accordingly. The ministry must, however, confirm that the aforementioned deaths are not associated with a lack of oxygen at the hospital, nor are they related to the absence of oxygen within its emergency response vehicles and units.
Sounds like a very contentious story, and it's indeed very sad for those who lost loved ones. There are accusations here, obviously.
We empathize and sympathize.
The tone of that press release, however, it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
That's all I will say to that.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on to story number 3, this from Win Media. The Compassionate Action to Reach and Empower, that's the CARE Foundation, founded by Dr. Terence Drew, is celebrating its first anniversary since its launch on April 17, 2021. A statement released by the CARE Foundation reads, quote, "It was exactly 1 year ago that the foundation enjoined the people of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to form a coalition of kindness committed to spreading goodwill, compassion, and caring throughout the communities of our Twin Island Paradise and its 5 priority areas. poverty alleviation, disaster response, health, wellness and nutrition, empowerment and education, environment and community enhancement, end quote. The statement further mentioned, quote, as part of its commemoration activities, the CARE Foundation endowed 4 deserving beneficiaries with medical assistance in the amount of $500 or 1,350 EC dollars, each to facilitate their ongoing medical care, end quote. The beneficiaries of the first endowment are Ms. Giovanna Merritt, Mr. Clement Stapleton, Mr. Jamari Rogers, and Mr. Austin Edinburgh. Since its inception, the CARE Foundation has engaged in several other outreach initiatives, such as providing food relief to distressed families and also to students studying in Cuba. Most recently, the CARE Foundation distributed Lenovo and Samsung Chromebooks to several students in both St. Kitts and Nevis. So the CARE Foundation is showing that it cares.
That it truly cares.
All right.
In fact, the food goes as far as Cuba.
Well, there you go.
Truly cares.
Truly cares, you say. Truly cares. I say care, she says truly care. There's a whole lot of caring in the air, and we'll be back with you to show you that we care.
That we care.
Stay tuned.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
And we're back on Good Morning SKN. We continue now with the latest in regional news. Bahamian government lobbying to make country permanent home for IAAF World Relay Games. This from Eyewitness News, Bahamas. The Bahamas will host the 50th CariFesta Games in 2023, along with the return of the IAAF World Relay Games. Prime Minister Philip Davis and a delegation traveled to Kingston, Jamaica over the holiday weekend to lobby for the opportunity to plan and execute the sporting event next year. A team of 54 athletes also traveled to Jamaica to participate in the 49th CariFesta Track and Field Games, finishing the 3 days of competition in second position with 17 medals. Team Bahamas' 36-member aquatic team also traveled to the 35th CariFesta Aquatic Championships in Bridgetown, Barbados over the weekend and secured multiple gold, silver, and bronze medals. Davis hosted a special luncheon on Saturday night for the Regional Sports Association and underscored to officials that the Bahamas should be used as a jurisdiction to host athletic events, given that the country punches above its weight in athletics. He indicated that the Bahamas also wanted to be the permanent host of the IAAF World Relay Games, given that the event originated in the country. The biannual event was first held in the Bahamas back in 2014 and was last held in the country in 2017.
I've got to say, the part that jumps out at me is that Bahamas is punching above its own weight in athletics.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then it
So
remains a
they're
lot to be
pushing?
seen. Yeah.
Running behind Jamaica?
Running behind Jamaica, but pushing. You're something else. You're something else. All right, we're moving on. We're going to bolt into the international news on that note. All right, this from the BBC. Health officials say they are now investigating unexplained cases of hepatitis in children in 4 European countries and the United States. Cases of hepatitis or liver inflammation have been reported in Denmark, Ireland, the Netherlands, Spain, and the US. Last week, UK health authorities said they had detected higher than usual cases of the illness among children. The cause of the illness is yet unknown. The European Centre for Disease Control, the ECDC, did not specify how many cases have been found in the 4 European countries in total, but the World Health Organization, the WHO, said less than 5 had been found in Ireland and 3 had been found in Spain. It added that the detection of more cases in the coming days was likely. Investigations into the cause of the illness are ongoing in all of the European countries where cases have been reported, said the ECDC. In the United States, Alabama's Public Health Department said 9 cases have been found in children. 9 cases have been found in children aged 1 to 6 years old, with 2 needing liver transplants. Investigations into similar cases in other states are taking place, it added. The UK is where the highest number of cases has been reported, with a total of 74 recorded so far. Last week, the UK Health Security Agency said the usual viruses that cause infectious hepatitis, that is hepatitis A to E, have not been detected among the cases in the UK. With that, we end the latest in international news. We'll be back with more Good Morning SKN in a moment. Stay tuned.
The continued fight against COVID-19 requires the continued practice of public health measures across all sectors and in every community. Frequent and proper hand washing, wearing face masks, and physical distancing. Do you know who is not physical distancing? The Aedes aegypti mosquito. Let's avoid overloading our healthcare systems. This means simultaneously protecting yourselves and your loved ones from all disease, including mosquito-borne illness like dengue fever, Zika, and chikungunya viruses. Did you know that dengue is the most common mosquito-borne viral disease in the world? So let's get to work. Use window and door screens to keep mosquitoes out. Change the water in vases and scrub inside surfaces to remove mosquito eggs. Avoid using saucers with potted plants to prevent collection of water. Securely cover water barrels and drums with mosquito netting and properly fitted covers. Scrub the inside walls of water barrels and drums with detergent 1 to 2 times per week. Walk around the outside of your home and remove or overturn containers that can collect water and become breeding sites. Mosquitoes only need a small amount of water to lay their eggs. Remove unwanted cans, bottles, buckets, or used tires. Other items still in use must be properly stored in covered areas to avoid water settling in them. Clean roof gutters and air conditioner trays. Debushing and removing tall grass from around your home or establishment is also key to reducing mosquito populations. To decrease your risk of being bitten by infected mosquitoes, use proven personal protective methods too. Apply an effective mosquito repellent to exposed areas of skin according to manufacturer's instructions. Wear light-colored long pants and shirts while outdoors in the early morning and late afternoons. Further, protect vulnerable family members like pregnant women, children, the elderly, and persons who are unwell by using mosquito nets to sleep or rest, even during the day. Fight the bite and protect yourself and your family too from mosquito-borne diseases. This message is brought to you by the Pan American Health Organization, Office for Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean countries.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Talent Plus can be considered a strategic HR business partner. It provides recruitment and HR support services to align organizations with HR best practices to improve workplace productivity and unlock long-term value. Talent Plus also provides job search assistance to job seekers. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with the founder of Talent Plus, Kamara Lee Prentice, who was born right here in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Kamara, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Welcome.
And thank you for having me. Good morning to the listening audience as well.
Oh, indeed. It's great to have you as we begin this conversation about what is a very lucrative field, and it seems like you're dominating it from all reports. So let's talk about that. How does the slogan "Recruit, Develop, and Transform" tie in with the services that Talent Plus provides, Kamara?
The slogan pretty much captures exactly what we do or what we aim to do at Talent Plus. So first of all, just a little bit more about us. So we are a human resource company, as you rightfully said, based in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and we offer services to both job seekers and businesses. And so our aim is to help businesses as well as job seekers, help businesses to recruit and help job seekers to find the right opportunity. Develop and transform. It's not just about getting you in the door, but helping organizations to develop and retain their employees as well as to transform employees, their performance, and the overall strategic HR function of institutions. And so it is what we represent, our brand. We aim to recruit, develop, and transform.
And just to follow up to what you said just now, Kamara, in terms of retention, is retaining employees a major concern for organizations?
Pardon?
Is the retention of employees a major concern for organizations that you've had to represent?
Yes, definitely a major concern. Being able to retain your employees, it can tell a whole lot about the institution. And so if you have an organization that employees are just coming in and leaving, it may not send a very positive message about the institution. So being able to retain employees for medium to long term, we know that employees move on for various reasons, but it shows that institutions are doing something right, and that is what we want to hear. That is what we want to know. Quite often, and something that we don't pay much attention to, is the employment brand. We look at job seekers and we say, oh, that person has the right attitude, they're the right fit for the institution, but what do you represent as an institution? What are you saying without saying it to job seekers who are looking on? So being able to retain employees, it sends a very positive message about your institution.
Very good insight.
Very good indeed. But then again, do I need a do-over, or this is a... So can you tell us your approach to talent acquisition?
All right. Talent acquisition is one of the services that we offer. And as you may know, we offer a number of services, and we'll speak about them a little bit more later. But in terms of talent acquisition, what we do is we offer a 360-degree approach. And so we work with institutions to find top talent for the right position. Similarly, we target job seekers as well, because there are several persons out there who are looking for opportunities, and they are in a current position that they are not satisfied with. Quite often you realize that I found myself in this position. So I can include myself. Quite often you find that we accept a role, but it's not really what we want to do. And so we are always looking for that right opportunity. So what we have created is a platform, a database where job seekers can sign up and make themselves available for opportunities when they arise with suitable employers. What we do, we use different approaches when it comes to talent acquisition. First of all, you may realize, well, when a business reaches out to us, some businesses are interested in advertising their positions, some of them are not. And so what we do, the first place we go is to our database. And so it's an advantage to job seekers to sign up as a candidate via our database. And so let's say business A, they reach out to us and they say, Kamara or Team Talent Plus, we're interested in recruiting an accountant. How can you assist us? We scan our database based on the requirements that you present, and we screen all the candidates who will come up or who may come up as a suitable match. Once we've completed that, then we will submit the candidates to the client for consideration. Another approach that we use is, if we are not generally satisfied or we are looking for a little bit more than what we have in the database, we can put the position out, advertise the position either as the employer or as employer confidential. And employer confidential, it is a strategy that a lot of businesses utilize. And so it's a way to get more persons in with the right skill set that the employer is looking for, amongst other things. We won't give out all of our trade secrets this morning, but I've shared two with you.
I am so disappointed that you won't give out any more than that, but that's fine. I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. All right, so it does seem like it's an advantage to register with Talent Plus, because gone are the days when we would just send applications or letters to businesses that are not necessarily seeking employment, and then we get, of course, the response that says that your application is on file or we have no suitable vacancies. I've gotten a few of those myself. All right, so in relation to what you said earlier, Kamara, I'm curious as to whether entry-level positions are handled by your organization as well, because we have a lot of school leavers who might think that they are not necessarily representative of the best talent that is out there. What do you have to say to that?
Before I speak to that, I just want to touch on something briefly that you mentioned about sending applications and employers are not recruiting or seeking. Now, it starts with an application or a CV or a resume, and that is a representation of you. Quite often, and what job seekers don't often pay attention to is it gets you into the door. It sends a very strong message about you. And so our job seekers don't take the time to ensure that they have a properly crafted CV to ensure that they are showcasing their right skill set. As it relates to entry-level school leavers, what I often say is there are things that you were involved in during your time at school that you can put on your CV to show employers, hey, I'm a very organized person. I've worked with a team. I've done this, I've done that, and this is what volunteer work to help to set you apart. And quite often, I wouldn't say that these types of jobs are scarce. It depends on the demand of the institution at the time. Quite often and lately, we see a number of entry-level positions coming out. But what we are finding is that a lot of persons don't receive a call and they wonder why. And that's because you're not representing yourself properly on your CV. And that is the first step to getting in the door to finding the right job. And so when it comes to job seekers, I'm encouraging you to take a look at your CV and ask yourself, am I truly selling myself or highlighting my skill set so that employers can say, hey, this or these can be of benefit to my institution. Another way, usually we sit behind a computer and we utilize the traditional way where we send an application in, but how about changing your approach? How about setting up a meeting, having that face-to-face interaction? That employer may be so impressed with you that they create an opportunity for you. And so, you know, it goes both ways where school leavers, you shouldn't just think that, hey, I just finished with school and I don't have the skill set. There is something that you can highlight, but it must be done the right way. And secondly, try another approach. Visit the employer, present yourself with your CV, and talk about your availability to work and what you can bring to the institution.
All right, very good answers, Kamara. We have to go to break, but before we do, one final question for you. It's a very brief question. Do you help or do you assist with CV writing?
Yes, it is a service that we definitely offer. We offer CV/resume booster. And so what you do is you submit, you first sign up as a candidate via our database, you request service. We work with you to revise your CV. And when I say work with you, we don't just do it blindly. We engage you to ensure that it is targeted and highlighting the right skills.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that information. You've made some school leavers and other job seekers very happy. We'll be back to talk with you more on the other side of the break. More Good Morning SKN in a flash. Stay tuned.
I'm here to say kids, Nevis, with the name for us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface of the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mask up, furlough, sanitize. Observe the protocols all about. Be wise. Mask up, furlough, sanitize. Me family fitting boat. And you.
Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
If you're just joining us, you are watching Good Morning SKN. We are continuing our discussion with National Kamara Lee Prentice, founder of Talent Plus. So during the break, Kamara, I was asking you about other services that you offer. Can you elaborate on those?
Sure, definitely. We offer services to both job seekers and businesses, and they're really a unique set of services. Now, to job seekers, we offer resume booster, job interview preparation, career advice, and we have a package that is called Talent Plus Premium, where you can subscribe to this package for 3 or 6 months, and receive precedence. You'll be considered in the top whenever job opportunities arise, and so on. So yes, to job seekers, we offer those services, and to businesses, we offer services in 3 main areas: recruitment and hiring, training and development, and general HR support.
So we were speaking, I asked specifically about dressing because I'm concerned about persons looking their best when they go to work. Is that one of the things that are included in your service?
So what we do is we offer job interview preparation. And what it is, it's a coaching session. So once you have secured a job interview, we would have a one-on-one session with you, coaching you. It's like a real mock interview. So you have to be prepared. And so we are coaching you about, how to respond to questions when the employer asks you, and some of the things that you can highlight. Now, during that interview, we also ask you about your attire. Not in an offensive way, or not to say that you can't dress or anything, but it's all about the general appearance and how you present yourself generally. And so, yes, we offer coaching as part of our job interview preparation session on how to dress, what not to wear, what you should wear, hair, makeup, and so on.
Lovely.
And we were having the discussion where, sometimes we see persons, the way they show up at an interview, and it's just too much, whether it is the cleavage that's exposed, or they didn't take pride in, grooming themselves properly. I'm just here because I have an interview. But your appearance is important. And you don't get a second chance to make a first impression. And so even if you have to buy a top and label it my interview top, a professional top and a jacket, then do that to ensure that you're presenting yourself in the right way at all times.
Yeah.
It sounds like a comprehensive suite of services. Like you've really given this a lot of thought. What I have to ask you now is, what motivated you to launch Talent Plus in the first place, Kamara?
It has been something that I have been passionate about for a very long time. I remember when I moved back to the Federation from Barbados, and that was in 2015. I had the thought, but the timing wasn't right. And then in 2020, I was making a shift in terms of my career. And at that time, COVID had just hit. And I took a look around at what was happening around us. And I said to myself, so many persons are being laid off from their jobs, but they don't understand what's really going on. Some employers are not bringing you back. This is the opportunity that some employers have been waiting for to get rid of the underperformers and so on. And so some persons were not going back. And we saw persons in, let's take, for example, hospitality for 20 years. And, it's hard for them to figure out what to do next, how to start over. And so right then and there, it felt like the timing was right to launch Talent Plus. I was currently employed at that time at the St. Kitts Tourism Authority and was on vacation preparing to leave. And I started by disseminating a survey, to try and understand the needs of my target audience. Because while I had insight, I wanted to ensure that, people will find the services beneficial, such as CV booster, preparing for an interview, and so on. So it was really a time of me reflecting and assessing what is going on in our current environment and seeking to help job seekers to stand out and to equally help businesses to transform their strategic HR services. Because being an HR specialist, one of the things that I've found, and I know I can speak a lot, so I'm finishing now, that quite often we don't pay enough attention to the HR function or give it the type of importance that is required. And so that's how it really came about.
All right, one final question that I have for you, Kortensia may have one or two after that, is how important do you think having a foreign language is to being marketable in today's market?
Having a foreign language is definitely an asset, no matter what field you're in. Because what you find is that we have so many immigrants living here and so on. And so quite often you may sign up as a role or you may be employed as an accountant. And, you know, at tertiary level, you did French and you're very good at it. And you find that foreign language is useful in your role as an accountant. And so it is very beneficial in today's world and helping you to be more marketable. Some institutions, sometimes going in, you may not fully understand who their clients are. But once you're in, you would definitely see the advantage of having that foreign language, and employers know. So if you present yourself with having that second language, it is definitely a plus, and it will certainly make you more marketable.
Merci.
In French. So Kumar, how can persons get in contact with you that may be interested in your services?
To get in contact with us, you can visit our website, first of all, to see our suite of services, www.talentplushr.com. We can also be reached via email, that's info@talentplushr.com. And our contact number is 869-663-7266.
Okay, good stuff. But I have to just sneak in one more question before we go. What has been your most memorable training experience?
My most memorable training experience. You know, training is something that I'm very passionate about. It is one of my strongest areas, actually. Helping to coach and develop leaders to become more efficient and effective, helping them to understand the team dynamics and, you know, maximizing the potential of their team and employees. And so doing sessions like HR for non-HR managers, because I find quite often there's a gap, looking at the admin level, enhancing the exchange for admin professionals, because it's not just being an admin, there's more to it. So helping to improve the overall performance, efficiency, and understanding of the persons in these roles, and, you know, seeing them walk away with something that they consider to be beneficial and utilizing them in their role.
Well, Kumar, it was indeed a pleasure speaking with you this morning. I hope our viewing audience took it all in, and they will contact you. I enjoyed every moment of it. We hope this is not your last conversation with us. We hope to speak with you sometime again in the future. So thank you for joining us this morning.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day now. Stick and stay. We will be right back with more Good Morning SKN shortly.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same, because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be one kind, yeah. One people. We are roll up to roll up, yeah. 'Cause no man's alone. Do what's right, alright. 'Cause I love you, still my radar. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy roll up to roll out.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We haven't had this segment for a while, but it's time to release, relax, and relate with Michelle Delacoudre Blake. It rhymes. Michelle is the director of the counseling department in St. Kitts. Michelle is here to talk to us about breaking the stereotypes surrounding counseling. Good morning, Michelle, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Kortensia and Jamie. Thank you for having me here this morning.
You are
thank you for being here.
certainly welcome.
Yes. Okay.
So we'll dive into the meat of things. So what do you believe are some of the main stereotypes surrounding counseling?
Oh, so when people talk about counseling, there's always a couple of things that make it difficult for people. This sense that people look at them in a particular way and think of them in a particular way, namely that they're weak because they're not able to deal with their issues on their own, and the confidentiality. So that the first one about people looking at them in a particular way brings shame, brings feelings of guilt because I'm not strong enough to be able to deal with a situation on my own. I'm not strong enough to be able to solve a problem on my own. And sometimes that message is reinforced by what we hear around. So it's a reinforcing message that people have. And the other one about confidentiality. We live in a small society, and you hear that all the time. I don't want people to know my business because if people know my business, then, you know. So the notion that when you sit with a counselor, that you're giving a part of yourself, a story. And of course, it's a vulnerable story, of course. That's why you're in counseling. So you're giving a story, and the notion that that story is going to be shared is something that people stereotype when they think of counseling. So, you know, those two things, basically.
I want to bring a little bit of the discussion back to gender when it comes to what you said about being weak in counseling. Do you find that that is something that you've had to fight against when it comes to men and how they perceive counseling?
Yes. Yes. Yes, because again, we go back to stereotypes, and we all carry messages that are given to us in society. We carry them, that's a given. All right? And the messages that are given to men are several and are varied, but the messages are, you need to be able to man up and do this. You need to be able to fix it. Men are typically fixers. and they tend to want to make something better. So that aspect of processing through feelings and things and what's going on with you and making sense of it, men tend to want to fix. And so the first instinct is to try and fix things yourself. And so men, when you see men come into counseling, is usually because they have gotten to a point of crisis. I've tried and tried and tried, and I can't do it anymore, so I come in crisis. And of course, crisis is usually not the best time to be able to try and address something, because it's a whole other dynamic, it's a whole other thing going on. So, but yeah, men definitely wait longer. Women will come in for what we call every little thing. Every little thing, yes. And I don't want to minimize that. I'm just saying it to say that they address things. Yes.
They speak up.
I have to say, when you spoke just now, I felt listened to and heard. You're like, men are fixers. You hit the nail on the head. I love it.
Right, it spoke to you. Yes.
Definitely did.
Men are fixers. Men are fixers.
So how can we break these stereotypes when it comes to counseling?
Yeah, I think breaking any stereotype, we have to recognize that there's time involved. It takes time, because breaking a stereotype isn't, it's multifaceted, because you have to break, the experiences that people have to be different. The messages in society have to be different. Education has to be different. So breaking the stereotypes involves information giving. So here we are sitting today. This is an aspect of information giving and information sharing. We do that a lot. We share information about different aspects of mental health and counseling. So sharing, information giving. So information giving makes people recognize, one, that it's perfectly normal and fine to be able to seek mental health. That mental health doesn't mean that something is wrong with how you experience the world, how you see the world. So giving information. The second thing is, or another thing is, it's important for when people do put themselves out there, that the response that they get back is in line with what counselors say will happen. So when they say confidentiality, what you're supposed to feel is that you are kept, your business is kept confidential. Your issues are kept confidential. It should not be that you hear something somewhere, or you know, even to the point, we're talking about confidentiality, even to the point, as a counselor, if you are one of my clients, I'd be in the supermarket and I'd pass you straight by. Because if you want to say hello, I'd say hello back to you. But I should not in any way have any sort of, or give any kind of indication that would make you uncomfortable in a space.
Get you.
Right? So information giving, just making sure there's congruence between what we say and what you experience. And people do have to trust the system. So people have to do their own research. Speak to people. Do research on what counseling can do, and try. You know, so there must be some trust on the individual's part.
All right, a burning question for me, apart from getting into, definitely burning question, apart from getting into what the National Counseling Department actually does and how your services can be accessed. I do want to know if during the pandemic that provided some difficulty for you in terms of reaching your clientele.
So I'm going to speak generally and I'm going to speak personally. In the pandemic, we all had to change. We all had to adjust. We had to adjust platforms. We had to adjust how we interacted with people. And it had to shift to online platforms, virtual platforms, telephone. Now, that works for a lot of people, and it worked to be able to meet the needs at the time. So that's professionally, the fact that we were able to continue services. Counselors like the face-to-face. Counselors need the face-to-face. Because, and me, I particularly like the face-to-face because there's a lot that you read that gives information in a face-to-face dialogue that you miss virtually, that you can't get over the phone, that you can't get when we are, you know, in a virtual space. So I could pick up on whether or not you're tapping your feet. So I could pick up that there's a little anxiety.
Okay.
I could pick up if you're twiddling your thumbs. I could pick up if you're shifting a little bit. So there's a lot that is a part of the assessment that may not be so readily available and so readily obvious in the virtual world. So I personally don't prefer it. But you know, in the pandemic, we had to do what we had to do.
Definitely. When we come back from the break, I'll talk with you a little more. Kortensia and I will, of course, about accessing services.
Accessing services, okay.
More in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. Target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Did you know that there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need? There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are salt smart.
We are speaking with Michelle Delacroix Blake, the director of the counseling department here in St. Kitts. And I have to say, I couldn't think of better furniture to have this conversation with you than the sofa. Because I'm so relaxed talking to a counselor. It does something.
Yes.
It does.
And we're face to face as well. Okay. All right, so I want to talk to you now about accessing the services, because we're talking a lot about counseling, but if someone doesn't know where to go to access these services and what to expect once they do, what can you tell us?
Okay, so accessing services. You said something, you said, if someone doesn't know where to go, how do you? What we are finding is that people are knowing where to go. We are always overwhelmed with requests, with needs for services. So it says that's a good thing, because we started to talk about stigma. But what we're realizing is that the stigma is breaking.
Good stuff.
People are seeking services. So how do you seek services? So we're let me just correct the name, the National Counseling Center.
Thank you for that.
National Counseling Center. So people call or people come in and just give some basic intake. So the first thing that you do is you call. And our number is an easy one to remember, 465-5000. Easy to remember.
$5,000.
Yeah, you get a lot of calls from the office.
All right, so 465-5000. So the first thing to do is to call. We have a very pleasant, wonderful person who answers the phone, who walks you through the process. She tells you about, what the services are. She asks about your need. There's some basic things she needs to ask to have just a basic intake, sense of what is. So she asks about things like your need. And you could describe it in any way you could. And then when the counselors get the intake information, then we're able to perhaps just frame it a little bit more in a clinical sense. Yeah. And then of course when we sit with the person, we have a little bit more information. But she gets a basic sense. And then she gets information about your contact information. What's the best time to contact you for a callback? What's the best time for you to come in? Some people could say, look, I'm flexible, I could come in anytime. Some people say, well, I could use my lunch hour, because we are flexible. We're very flexible. I use my lunch hour. She gets a sense of that. She gets a sense of next of kin, just in case, who is in your corner for us to be able to touch base with, that you give us permission to touch base with. So that would be, why you share that information. So she'd get that information. And then she'd give them a little bit of a sense of when to get a call back. So she'd say to them, okay, so look, you're calling today, and sometimes you don't get a call back immediately because we have to make sure that we have the space and the availability to deal with a new client. So she gives them that. So when they finish with the call with her, they have a good sense of what is coming next, that expectation. And that in and of itself is helpful.
It is.
Yes.
So as I was telling Jamie, when I was learning to swim, I always wondered what you did. I just thought you were a stay-at-home mom. So when I found out that you were a counselor, my question to you is, what in particular drew you to that field?
It was very accidental, for want of a better way of putting it. So a lot of times with the college process, when you go in, especially when you go into your first degree, there's some things that you have to take at first, called electives. So you have to go in and you have to take some things. So you go in with whatever direction, whatever sense you want to go, but they encourage you to take electives. Try out some other things. And so I got into college and got into some psychology electives. And the rest is history.
History.
Yeah,
so yes, just really loved it. Just really felt connected to it. And this was a time in St. Kitts when we didn't have people going into that field, when the stigma was a lot more pronounced than it is now. I remember when I came back to work, I was the only one working in the field. And of course now we have long past that, which is an excellent thing for us in a society. So, yeah. By accident.
By accident.
Yes.
I have one more burning question. How do you unpack everything that is like poured into you during your sessions at the end of your day?
That comes with time and maturity in the business and understanding. Because when you start off in mental health, you have this sense that my job is to fix everybody, to be there for everybody. As you learn and develop professionally and personally, you recognize that it is a partnership. I provide something, you have to provide something. My responsibility is not to fix you. My responsibility is to provide a platform that you could use to fix yourself. So the long and short of that is you learn to cut off. You learn, and it's not a selfish thing. You learn that my pouring everything into you is not helpful to you, and it's not helpful to me. So you really learn healthy boundaries. You learn how to recognize what assistance is. Assistance isn't always fixing you. Assistance could also just be providing a space for you to figure out if you want to fix things for yourself or not. That plus a very healthy decision on keeping my boundaries. So keeping times separate and apart. My times are my times, my work times are my work times. So that for me is important. Keeping friends and keeping experiences that I enjoy and fill me up. And making sure that there's no guilt associated with it not being able to fix things for people. So it comes with time. Yes.
This has been a very engaging discussion.
I wish we had more time.
The 15 minutes goes by so quickly.
It does. But I can imagine what a session with you is like. And I have to say, we need to have Michelle back because I love the couch effect.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be back in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children. Settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes.
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami I come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see, Sammy.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning, SKN. Ciao, bango!
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Mental health can be considered one of the major buzzwords or terms in the 21st century. Specifically, Generation Z has been spreading awareness about the importance of prioritizing mental and emotional care. It's time for Kortensia and I to loosen up, and today we'll be sharing our experiences with prioritizing our mental health. All right, let's talk about stigma and what it was, and whether what Michelle just said in our previous segment is true about it being reduced. What do you find?
It has been reduced because before we never spoke on mental health. Now everything is coming to fore, where it's okay to speak. We have a month where we celebrate mental health. We have a color that is also affixed to mental health. So I think we're more aware and the stigma is being broken that it's okay to speak to someone, even a counselor.
Yeah.
So it's being broken. What do you think?
I think it is. I think traditionally we looked at health to be physical.
Yeah, we didn't think about our minds.
And then we started going to the mental aspect of it, and that becomes more prevalent. It's more normal for us to see counselors in media talking about the importance of mental health. It's more normal for us to turn our television on and see those ads that say, depressive states are not okay, you need to talk to somebody, and that sort of thing. So there's definitely more education concerning mental health. Although I think for lay people like myself, there still needs to be a little more education, and perhaps I need to take that step forward to learn a little more about exactly what it means to be in a good mental space.
Mental space, yeah. And I even thought back to my younger days when it had somebody that would walk around and we call them crazy this and crazy that. And I would say I regret calling them that because, and I guess I was young and that's the society we came up in. We didn't understand that these people were going through something up here. We just saw them as crazy and think it was cool to call them crazy whatever their name was.
Yeah, and one of the things that I find is from looking at people in society, you know, we know that people function normally and we say, okay, they're fine. And then there's something traumatic, something happens in their lives that totally sends them in the opposite direction. And realizing that, it says to me that it could happen to just about any one of us if we don't manage ourselves and our emotions well enough. So that's important. How do you prioritize your mental health?
Okay, so when I feel I'm having those days, I either sleep, that's one. I exercise or I listen to a lot of motivational things over and over and over, whether I'm cleaning, whether I'm doing laundry, just to get my mind back up and running. As I was saying, the 5-second rule that Mel Robbins has, I normally follow that.
All right, so I'm going to give you a tape here. You can clean the house. You want a motivational tape from me?
Cleaning the house, but maybe I would have woke up on a low mind, you know, and to motivate me to do what I have to do.
Yeah, so you
Les
need to
Brown
listen to
and
that.
Jim Rohn and Mel Robbins.
Oh, Mel Robbins is the best.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Robbins. But,
Tony Robbins too, of course. I love me some Tony Robbins and some Eric Thomas. Yeah.
Okay, you're calling
Ed
names
Milet.
now. You're calling names now that I don't know. I'm just there on the surface of the Robbins.
Yeah, I listen to everybody. So it's just a continuous running of speeches on YouTube to get me back in the mental frame of mind. And of course, I pray. How could I forget to thank the Lord? I do pray.
I don't know. How could you forget? Yeah, people find different coping mechanisms. So when I say coping, doesn't mean things are out of control, but you just want to get, you know, some time alone to think about things, to not think about things as well, because sometimes
not overthink. You're correct.
As well.
Because I am an overthinker.
Yeah, you run away, you take a run, a jog, or you do whatever. You
I light my
watch
candles.
TV. You light your candles from Los Sabor.
Various scents.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Here we go.
Don't forget my wax melt. And I spray up my room. Yeah, I do all sorts of things.
Look at that, guys. Kortensia does all sorts of things. Kortensia does all sorts of things. So guess what? We're going to be back to continue our discussions with each other and guests on the other side of this break. So stay tuned.
Consuming foods like bananas, potatoes, and dried peas and beans, such as lentils and kidney beans, contains potassium, which helps to reduce salt in the body.
Self-health management refers to the measures people take to manage their own health. You and I should remember to wash hands often with soap and water, or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose. Take your temperature morning and evening. Watch for symptoms. Persons with diabetes or hypertension are reminded to take your medication regularly as prescribed. If you have no symptoms, you may carry out your normal routine and boost your immune system. When you are outside, avoid public spaces and wear a mask at all times. If you develop symptoms, put on a mask and seek medical care. Do not take public transportation. Inform the doctor of your travel history, any contact with confirmed or suspected cases, your occupation, and whether anyone around you has similar symptoms. If you become ill, please rest at home. Wear a mask and isolate yourself from others in your household. If you share a bathroom, disinfect daily using 1 part bleach to 10 parts water. Everyone must work together to reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
If you are watching us, welcome back to Good Morning SKN. So we're gonna begin, should I say, because we're not ending with it, we're gonna tell you what's happening today. Okay. So we start with our first point. Inter-primary championships are back. The 2022 edition of the Gold Insurance Inter-Primary Schools Championship will be held next week, Wednesday the 27th April, at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. Tickets are available to be purchased from the Department of Education in Nevis until next week, Tuesday the 26th April. But the early bird special ends tomorrow, Friday, April. Why am I in February? Friday, April 22nd. So buy your tickets today and tomorrow to get your early bird special. The prices are as follows. Children, which includes primary and secondary school students, $5 early bird and $20 regular. Ticket for adults, including sixth form students, are now $15 early bird and $20 regular. So the $5 you save can buy you a drink, right? There is also an additional fee for inside parking of $15 plus the cost of the ticket for each occupant. All track and field enthusiasts, gear up and go and support these athletes.
Wow. $5 can buy you a drink at Do you realize that
a water
$5 can buy you a drink, really?
Yeah, at
Do you realize that the prices, there's inflation at these sporting events? I don't know if this is one of those, but there is inflation at these sporting events, like on the regular, because they know that once you're in, you're not going to go outside to buy anything.
So you buy
the prices sometimes triple. That's my memory from sports. I'm telling you that honestly. A buck doesn't go as far.
Oh my God.
Maybe it does here. Maybe it does here.
But in our time, it was cheaper.
Our time. Oh, that was so long ago.
No, it wasn't so long ago. I shouldn't say, oh my God. Okay.
Time.
When myself and Jamie went to school, $5 could have gotten us at least a drink and a chicken wing, right?
I don't know about that because, maybe my signals are crossed for helping schools organize sporting events and realizing that the prices actually do go up. I tell you, the prices go up. All right. Interesting. All right, so we're continuing. I'm going to dance right into the second story here. Dance right into the second announcement, the Lift Dance Recital. Last week, we spoke with Marcia Jeffers, the founder and artistic director of Synergy Movements. Marcia shared with us a teaser about what's to be expected at their next dance recital. Well, guess what, everyone? This dance recital is taking place on Sunday, right around the corner, on the 23rd of April. So the dance recital is entitled LIFT, L-I-F-T. Here's what that stands for. Lasting Impressions, Feed, Transformation. It will take place at the Eco Park starting at 5 p.m. and tickets are $20 for children under 12 and $40 for adults. So all tickets are electronic, and that's really convenient. So to find out more about how you can purchase your tickets, visit the Synergy Movements Facebook page. Again, that's the Synergy Movements Facebook page.
So have you ever been to a dance recital?
I think I've been to a dance recital. If I've not been to a dance recital, I've been to places where they've danced. How about that?
I love your comeback. I love your comeback. I've been to a few and I danced before, so yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the movement and the flow. Sometimes you get that synchronicity of movement. Sometimes you know when people are a little off, but hey, if they're jovial about it, you go with it and you say, hey, this is good. Especially the younger ones. And I think Marcia does have that range, the orchids and the different flowers that she...
Up to the flamboyant.
Yeah, the categories based on ages that have specific names. And it's going to be at Eco Park.
Yeah,
which is great.
Nature, lovely. Outside, breathe fresh air, revive, relax.
And the best part about it is that I think this is what she said when we interviewed her, that you're going to be walking to the dancers. So the dancers aren't necessarily coming to you. You're going to be walking through the park and you're going to be seeing, you know, the dancers do their thing at the different sites. So that's great.
So you get to experience the park and the dancers.
Yeah.
That will be a bomb recital.
Definitely.
One with nature, synergy, feel the energy of the outside.
Guys, we have a preview for you of Synergy. Kortensia is going to give her famous kick. You know? That was not scripted, by the way.
I actually thought we had a preview.
I'm kidding.
I did not know it was included in the preview.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
My
No, we did that already. Kortensia kicked me, and that's where you got the kick from. Kortensia actually kicked me, guys. So I call her Kortensia the kicker.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't. Okay, Shaggy. I'm going to call you Shaggy. Can I call you Shaggy? It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
The evidence speaks for itself, guys.
It was.
So make sure you go out on... There it is. So it's 23rd of April.
So go out on Saturday, dance and mingle with the dancers.
All right.
Is that a good thing? Should they dance and mingle with the dancers? Or
Whatever
just mingle with the dancers?
is, that's when you're going to go out and have
Which
fun
is Sunday.
with it. What did you say?
No, Saturday. Oh my gosh, I'm mixing up my days.
I'm saying the 23rd. That's what I'm saying. It's safer to say
it's
the 23rd.
It's Saturday, the 23rd of April. I apologize for thinking the 23rd is Sunday.
There you go.
No.
Well, there you go indeed. All right.
So don't miss it.
Don't miss it at all. Guess what? We're going to go to a break. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned, everyone.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cooked today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me
Let
go!
go what? Yeah, let's see what real happen. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492. Special Victims Unit 662-7077. Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
I going out tonight. I got a hot date. He older than me, but I don't care. I like what he telling me. He say I look sweet and ting. What? You want me go home with him? Nice. Boy, I wonder if I'm ready for this. I notice he ain't got a condom, but I gonna go ahead, see? He might think me ain't like him or trust him. Plus, this my first time. Nothing gonna happen to me. Lord, how could I let this happen? I ain't ready for no child. Who gonna support me and my child? My man gone jail and mommy and daddy said they ain't gonna help. I all on my own. How could I be so careless? I wish I could go back to that now. But my education on hold. How could I let this happen?
Don't let this happen to you. Contact the Department of Gender Affairs to find out about confidential offices and personnel available to answer questions about your sexuality or pre- or postnatal concerns.
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Marine Resources will be hosting an Agriculture Open Day on the 28th and 29th of April. Sherry Flanders, head of the Media and Communications Unit at the Department of Agriculture, is here to tell us about that. Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back indeed. I told you I'd be back.
Yes, you did, and you are. You're not the Terminator, though, but you are back indeed. All right, so let's talk about the open day. Again, I imagine it's set up to make sure that everything that's going on behind the scenes is made public. But in your words,
Yes.
What is the point of the open day?
Okay, so the open day basically gives the general public a better idea as to what opportunities they can get in the agricultural sector, including the fisheries as well. And so the open day this year is going to have a bit of both. The different careers in agriculture, you know, and as well we're going to highlight the crop division, the livestock division, and fisheries as well. And so before in the past, because it was mainly focusing on just the agriculture alone that everyone, you know, seems to be so accustomed to, that is just plants, you know, the food aspects of things and the animal aspect of things. This year, especially since this year highlights aquaculture and fisheries based on the UN standards, this year in particular, we want a combination of everything that is the Department of Marine Resources and the Department of Agriculture. So it's going to be bigger and, of course, better. Yes.
So you mentioned a few of the attractions. Are there any others you can tell us about?
Are you sure you have all day?
We don't, but the little you can squeeze in.
It is so much. Okay, so I'm going to do my best to see how much I could squeeze in for you, because trust me, when we say it's going to be bigger, it really is going to be bigger. Okay, now this year, one of the things I'm most excited about is the fact that we're going to have health screenings at the open day. And so we're partnering with the Ministry of Health, the Health Promotion Unit. They are actually going to be on site on that day at the Newtown Playfield, and you're going to get your blood sugar checked, you're going to get your blood pressure checked, you know, they're even going to be measuring the hip and waist ratio.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want anyone to be there while that is happening. I don't want people to know the sizes, you know, but it's a good thing, because that way we get to focus on not just the health aspect of agriculture where you're laboring, but what we're eating as well. We're going to also focus on the healthy eating of the foods. And one of the things that I was able to, you know, squeeze out of the the health partners, we might actually be able to get breast exams done on the scene.
Good.
And yeah, I'm really excited about that. And it's not just for men and it's not just for women, sorry, it's also for men as well. So we're gonna have women and men who can go on and get their breast exams done on site at the Agriculture Open Day. And then we are expecting the Department of Marine Resources, and I'm pulling them out because we have competition that's happening between the various units. And you know, competition is good because when there's competition, it means that people are going to try to give it their all, and make sure that their stalls or their booths are the best. And so the Department of Marine Resources might be coming, as I've heard, with a boat. So we're going to be looking to see what they're going to be doing with their boat. I don't know yet, but we're going to see. And if you really want to know what's happening, you have to be at the Open Day to see what's taking place there. Yes, we're also going to have what we call a petting zoo. And so we're going to actually go into a little bit about that later, because I'll have someone who would be able to join me and give you all the snippets that you need about that. But that is going to be obviously one of my favorite segments of the Open Day. We'll have a petting zoo that is there, and this time it's going to be a bigger zoo. We had the Department of Agriculture had the Open Day for the last couple years in the yard itself. And so this year we're moving it to the Newtown Playfield, and it gives us more space for more shenanigans.
I love how you put that.
Yes.
Well, we're no stranger to competition. At least this one isn't. So I am curious to know if you can give us a bit more about the criteria for the judging of the...
For the competition?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So we have decided that the persons who have the most intricate details in their stalls and the creativity of their stalls. You know, we're focusing on making sure that people understand that we're using innovation in agriculture. It's not just the regular way of farming and fishing. We want to see innovation at the booths and at the stalls. And so if you could show persons how you could get the job done in an innovative way, you're a winner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So competition is tight.
It is. It is. I wish I was competing because, hey,
I know.
they should be scared.
I see there is a raffle.
Yes, we also have a raffle.
What are some of the prizes?
Yes. Okay. So for the raffle, we have a bull. And if you're wondering, when I say bull, whatever, a whole bull. A bull.
A live bull.
A whole cow we're taking home.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, I know. Can you imagine if you pull up with your car and you're like,
I wonder
I'm going to win the raffle. Wait, I'm the winner? Where am I going to put this bull?
Time on top.
Yes.
Let's go.
You're going to win a bull. It's an actual bull.
An actual bull, yes.
Wow.
We're giving you an actual bull, and we're also giving away a pig, and we have a tablet. So we want persons to, right now, if you can, go and get your hands on those raffle tickets. They're only $5. And the raffle is actually going to happen on the 29th, which is the Friday. So if you want your bull, you better start buying those raffle tickets. They're available at the Department of Agriculture.
Bull.
Yes.
Pig. Here we go. Guys, do we need a new Studio 327 or Good Morning SKN mascot? Are we going to be in the raffle?
A bull.
We're going to get the bull?
Yeah.
We're going to tie him up and take him home.
We're going to grab him by the horn?
Yes.
Run with it.
We're fighting all the way home. Huh?
Oh my God. This is so very interesting,
I know.
Shire.
I know.
And unique, I have to say.
Yes, because, you know, we were thinking at first, I was saying, you know, maybe we should just give like a TV or something, you know. But then when I thought about it, I said, no.
Let's be creative.
Let's
Give
be
a
more
ball.
creative.
Yeah,
It's the agricultural sector.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, that would actually give maybe a young farmer, and even if you're not farming as yet, this might actually help to spark your interest in livestock farming. And so if you get a big bull, you know, you learn the ways to, of course, feed your bull and take care of your bull. And, you know, who knows, that might actually give you the jump start that you needed to become a livestock farmer.
Jumpstart or kickstart, depends. We'll be back to talk more with Shahira in a moment. Stay tuned, everyone.
teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl a look me, but me know you know that. Big man no deal with back pamba.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see where we at. Let go what? Watch your mouth with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
To Good Morning SKN. Don't mind the screams. We are continuing our discussions with Ciara Flanders, the head of the Media and Communications Unit of the Department of Agriculture. We are also joined by Delisha Huggins, Livestock Extension Officer. As Ciara informed us here, there will be a petting zoo on the opening days, and we have a few of these animals here. Ciara, can you discuss the animals we have?
Yes. Okay. Obviously, you can hear what we have. We can obviously tell that we have a very, very lovely piglet here and the sibling who's not feeling too well today. So we're going to sit the sibling out. But yes, and this is Charlotte right here. Charlotte is quite calm for now. Hopefully she stays that way. Yes. And this is Chubbs. Now, Chubbs doesn't seem... Chubbs? Yes, Chubbs does not seem as intimidated, but...
No, Chubbs is bossy.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's got a celebrity in his genealogy. Bugs, you know.
Bugs, yeah, Chubbs, Bugs. Yes, and so as I was mentioning before, one of the most exciting aspects of the Agriculture Open Day will be the Livestock Division's petting zoo. And as you can see here, our animal whisperer, Miss Delisha Huggins, has already started showcasing what is going to be happening at the petting zoo. This will give the students who are there the opportunity to learn as much as they possibly can about animals and the livestock sector. And I'm going to kind of ask Delisha here for a quick second, because she's not going to be doing too much talking. She animal whispers.
Yes. I can see that with Charlotte, because Charlotte got quiet once she took Charlotte.
Yes. Delisha, if you can tell us, what other animals can persons expect at the petting zoo?
There's a runaway pig, but keep talking.
We have the pig, the bunnies.
Hi.
Yeah, you'll be having the pig. You'll have more baby, young animals.
Oh, baby animals, okay.
Children can have a good association with them. You'll be having guinea pigs, rabbits, piglets, lambs, kids. That's about it. And we'll have some ducklings as well.
Yes. Ooh. I didn't know about the ducklings.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's an early introduction to the young children.
Yeah.
Have a good association.
There is a celebrity on the platform right now. There is a runaway pig on live television. Literally. There is a runaway pig. That's the start of the show.
Charlotte's sibling is on the loose. But you know what? That is all a part of actual livestock farming. Sometimes you just can't catch the pigs, you know? You have to run them down on your farm.
This is why, Jeremy, I told you, if we won the bull, look at him.
Oh, there's the star. There's the star of the show. There we go. Runaway pig.
This is Sweeney.
Oh, that's Sweeney?
This is Sweeney.
Hi, Sweeney.
Sweeney is the runaway pig that you see here. Sweeney did not want to be a part of the shenanigans this morning, but that's okay. Charlotte is very calm. And Charlotte is going to be at the Agriculture Open Day as well on her best behavior. Right, Charlotte? Very good.
Sweeney answered. Sweeney answered.
Yes.
ready yet. Yes.
He's just exploring, look. He's exploring.
Yes. So we have a couple more animals that we're going to have on display as well.
Okay.
And of course, persons will also be able to grab all the plants that they need and all the lots of fruits and vegetables that you can think of, way more than what we had at the very successful Agri-Night Market, of course, because it's bigger, it's better this year, this time around, and we want to make sure that persons do not miss this one. We're going to have a couple on-air appearances as the time gets closer to the Agriculture Open Day. And, you know, we're going to give away a few prizes as well. Yes.
I love your choice of words, grab.
Yes. Yes, because if you don't get there early, you'd be very surprised that they're gone.
Be done by the time you get there.
Exactly. And persons always think, you know, maybe I would be able to go later in the afternoon and find what I want.
Yeah, once the sun go down.
That's it.
Because we run from the lovely sun that we have.
Exactly. They want to go later in the afternoon and they think that that's when the action is. No, the actual action is all throughout the day. It's from 9 a.m. all the way down to 10 p.m. So the entertainment aspect of the Agriculture Open Day kicks off at around maybe 6 p.m. So if you want to get your fruits and your vegetables, the best time to come is during the daytime. We'll have an opening ceremony on the Thursday. And it's very, you know, just really short and sweet and to the point so that we could get right into the action of the actual Agriculture Open Day.
Well, I gotta say, as long as the animals are around, the action and entertainment.
And Sweeney is showing that. Yeah, Sweeney is showing us that.
Oh, there's Sweeney's again.
So,
it's done.
Will there be animals on sale at the fair as well? Fishes, turtles?
Yes,
okay.
turtles. We're supposed to have a vendor who is selling rabbits, and there should be someone selling turtles as well.
What about fish? Can we get a new goldfish?
Someone inquired about selling, but I'm not too certain.
We have not yet confirmed. Yes, but we have a couple more days still to confirm. So just in case, if you do really want to get your fish, other than the fish that would be fresh and ready to be eaten, if we do have a vendor there, then of course you can always come and get that. And then that's something that we could also inquire about as well to add it. Because we want so much to be happening at the Agriculture Open Day, there would be no need for you to go to the supermarket on that day.
No need.
Should I pick Sweeney up? Because he's right here.
Yeah.
Should I pick Sweeney up? Oh,
come on, Sweeney.
Sweeney's got better ideas.
Sweeney's just moving about.
Sweeney heard me. I'm not gonna pick you up.
But they're communicating as siblings. Every time Sweeney makes a move, Charlotte gives a little grunt.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there goes Sweeney.
Sweeney squealed just now.
This is the brother, and she's the sister. Okay.
Very calm. It's okay, Charlotte. Sweeney's okay. We can't break up this peak.
What is the bunny's name again? Because you're not getting any attention at all from
this
us.
is Chubbs.
Chubbs.
Yes.
Sorry, Chubbs. But maybe Chubbs has got a lot of attention, you know, so he's just being calm now.
Well,
Since Chubbs is related to bugs.
All right, so where before we go, can the tickets be purchased once again, Sharon? If you've not said it before in that camera.
Yes, okay, so for those of you who missed it earlier, you're looking for the raffle tickets that we're going to have on the Agriculture Open Day. And they're only $5. And of course, the big prize is the big bull. So you don't want to miss it. Only $5. If you are a teacher, this is the perfect opportunity for you to bring your students. Parents, you can bring your children. Children, please nag your parents so that you don't miss the opportunity at the Agriculture Open Day. It's on April 28th and April 29th. And for both days, it's going to be everything that you can think of agriculture and fisheries related. Yes. So we can't wait for that. And it's from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. on both days, Thursday and Friday. And I must say, we have cultural performances as well that will be happening throughout the actual event on both days. So we're going to have the bull troop from the St. Peter's group. They're going to come and yes, because we want to give, I know bull themed. We want to give the young children the opportunity to come and participate in the open day. And at the same time, when they're finished with their performances, they could go to all of the different stalls and get an idea of what's taking place in the agricultural sector as well. Yes.
Lovely.
Well, I gotta say, I'm tempted to oink on this, but Thank you so much for joining us.
It was indeed a pleasure.
Thank you for having us. And always being accepting of our shenanigans.
Sweetie.
No worries here.
Sweetie's chilling out now.
Guys, we're going to go to a break, but we'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, nobody run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
These teen boys nowadays get me so upset. I see these teen girls with their big bellies and you want to tell me y'all couldn't protect her and yourself? Come on. Now don't tell me no stupidness about you feel embarrassed about getting a pack of condoms or asking somebody for one. That ain't nothing to be ashamed about. You should be proud that you are making a wise decision, but you still have to abstain from having sex with someone under the age of consent. If your boys are pressuring you to have sex and you don't want to, then don't. You are in charge of your life, not them. I heard another one saying it's sweeter without a condom. But my granny always told me, no glove, no love. So let me tell you something. It's sweeter to have money in your pockets and not have to support a child at that young age. Before I say anything else, the best way to prevent teenage pregnancy is to abstain. In other words, no do it. Let me talk to the big men troubling underage girls.
Why you sleeping with your daughter? You not live clean. Your girl at 16 and your daughter at 13. So girl a look me, but me know in that big man no deal with back pan back.
You understand where I'm coming from, right?
This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
I need some veggies for dinner.
Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Greetings, my lovely people. I'm Chantel, residing in Taiwan. 12 hours time difference. It's nighttime here, morning time in SK. I'm busy and on the go. However, I always manage to keep up to date with what's happening in SK. All thanks to Good Morning SKN. Good morning SKN. Ciao, bango!
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
You're going live. Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Today on Good Morning SKN's expression, we have an icon in our midst. Today we have none other than the Calypso great King Elimat. King Elimat has captured a total of 17 crowns, 10 as Calypso King and 7 as a Road March champion. King Elimat recently published an autobiography entitled Under the Breadfruit Tree. Let's hear all about it. A pleasant good morning, King Elimat, and welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Morning, King Elimat.
Good morning.
Let's try that one more time. Can you hear us? All right, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. We'll try to sort them out in a moment. Please stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
And we're back to continue our discussion with King Elimat. So we're going to dive right into the meat of things, and we're going to speak about your autobiography. Why the name Under the Breadfruit Tree, King Elimat?
That's where I was born, girl.
Oh. Okay.
Maybe you like Jesus, you're born in a manger.
Uh-huh.
I was born in that house on George Street there, at Roxborough Street.
Okay.
Right there, under the Breadfruit Tree.
Oh,
Delivered by Nurse West in 1953, the 23rd of January.
Wow. So you are a 69-year-old king, and that autobiography brings it home.
That's how 69 is the age, eh? Be careful.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you for that. So tell us.
You young people crazy here.
So we keep hearing. So what is something interesting that your fans will learn about you in this autobiography?
They will probably learn. They will learn that my father was born in Santo Domingo.
Mm.
And my grandmother is from Dieppe.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I
So
know that.
you're a Caribbean king. You're a Caribbean star through and through. All right, so a section of your book is called A Love Affair with Music. And we have a clip of your famous song, I Love St. Kitts. We're going to take a look at it.
I've traveled far and near, been almost everywhere. No place that has been good touch the cradle of the Caribbean. Talking about where I born, where I come from. Natural beauty, lesson land, pretty waters and clean sand of St. Kitts, I love you.
All right, so King Alamat, let's talk about, your songs and patriotism. How important is that to you, representing St. Kitts to the world? Music. And now in your autobiography.
Okay, for me, when I got into this business, the music business, at a very young age, I just wanted to let the world know I was as good as Paul McCartney and John Lennon and all of them, but we're from St. Kitts.
Mm-hmm.
So I want the world to know where I'm from. I remembered particularly playing at a dance in Manhattan, New York City. And some fans, they kind of cornered me and said, you're singing all kind of song about tires, seatbelt and button. Why you want to sing international song? So my question to them was, what is the international song? You want me to sing about New York and LA and Las Vegas? I ain't know about them. My gift is to promote my country from God. America got a lot of people, sacred element, and that's my thought process.
I love the way you express that. Absolutely true. Absolutely.
I am going to sing about my country and my people till I die. I don't care. I am Kittitian. I'm a Newton man for say hush about.
There is a section in your book that speaks to friendship and musicianship, and you mentioned the Mighty Sparrow, among others. Tell us about your friendship with him.
That is very dear. It basically, my friendship with the Mighty Sparrow started way back in, say, 1974, 75, And he loved the way that I seemed to know all his music. And any song he called that he wants to sing, I could play it. I could write the chords for any musician to play, and anybody could sing along if I write the music. That's a gift that I have. I can't tell you where it came from, whatever, like that. But I know he recognized that I'm a very good musician, and he said it. At the Dakota said it. At the Dakota at the time was Trinidad's #1 arranger. Everybody who came in contact with me said, this is a man who knows a lot of music and understands music. And that's where the friendship with me and Sparrow, started.
That's so great.
As I had my band, I played in his club in Trinidad called the Sparrow Hideaway. And then he sent for me, and my band stayed at the Sparrow Hideaway. Usually we stayed up in St. Anne's, but as the mighty Crazy would says, Elimat dominated Trinidad for over 10 years. And everything. Anyway, I was just...
King Elimat, we thank you so much for sharing. We thank you so much for giving us that information. We want to know now, apart from being remembered as a lover of St. Kitts, the Paul McCartney, as you put it, of St. Kitts and Nevis. How would you like to be remembered?
That's a good question, boy. Well, for my music, you know, because that's what I think, that's what I know. Music, and I had to learn music, teach myself a lot of stuff. Mostly what I know, I taught myself. I bought books, studied hard, listened to records, studied hard, listened to everything. I read voraciously anything to do with music. And I want to be remembered as not just as the Calypso King, 10 crowns, won by local crown, 7-year-old match, all of that. But I want to be remembered as St. Kitts' #1 promoter.
I love it.
And I'm always, I'm a politician, you know. The politicians come and go, but people like me who promote St. Kitts, I promote St. Kitts so small, and I'll do it until the last breath. This is me. I'm promoting St. Kitts. #1 petition, #1 country man.
Listen, we're going to fight, you know. We're going to fight for who could promote St. Kitts more, but you've got some years on me, so I think that you're leading still. All right.
I mean, you're talking about be yourself, you know.
Well, I learned how to respect my elders, and definitely elders with a crown. So, King Elimat, you have my reference.
So what is your favorite part of the book, King Elimat?
If I tell you something, you would believe it. But I have not, although we put the book together and so on, I like the whole book. I like all those pictures. To show all them old New Tongue people who used to support me. When the band started back in 1968, trust me, 3 brothers, Calvin Esdell, my bigger brother, Warren Nero, who is a lawyer now, my bigger brother, and myself. We were the crooks of the band, and we got other people to help us out. And we started the band up Roxborough Street in front of Mrs. Hobson. A house there, you see, there's still, you know, just above Edith, where Edith used to have the restaurant, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But anyway, up that street, Roxborough Street, is where we started. And the people, the pictures in my book will tell you who I am. And those are who I love. I never loved the Queen Elizabeth and all them things there. I am not into celebrity. I'm into myself and my New Tongue people and my St. Kitts people and my Nevis people.
Lovely, lovely.
You know, my grandmother, my father's mother was born in Cox in Nevis. So when I sang the song, we are the same, we are the same, we are the same. Because my grandmother, you see how much I got in me? My father was born in Santo Domingo. Right? My father's mother was born in Cox and Nevis. My grandmother, my mother's mother was born in Deep Bay. You see that? And then my father's mother, Red Rose, Miss Rose, she lived out her life in Phillips's Gut. Everybody in Phillips's knew my grandmother, Miss Rose. Rosetta Ward is her name. You got me?
We got you. So it goes through your blood. Caribbean love, St. Kitts and Nevis love flows through your blood. King Elimat, we want to thank you. It was truly an honor to take the time, for your taking the time with us to talk about this book, to talk with you, a living legend yourself. Sir, thank you so much.
Champion, before you go, I want to ask Kittitians, Nevisians, to encourage anybody anywhere to buy the book and learn about me and learn about St. Kitts and Newtown, and it will also help me to help myself because I am not depending on anybody to help me because I want to come home, actually. And if enough people could buy the book and support me because I get about $5 US for every book that's sold.
And where is it sold?
Yeah.
Where is it available for sale?
Amazon. They have invested a lot in that book. So it is best to buy the book from Amazon. Although Glenn Roy Blanchett is said, he is my representative, he's my editor-in-chief. And so you'll find that if enough Critics divisions could buy the book, I was telling Glenn Roy, let's see if we could get the CFB institution to buy the book and keep it up there. Like, let Critics read about Elimat.
Definitely. That would be something great.
Yeah, because if you could get, buy it for Newtown School or something, we gotta come on, we gotta start supporting our people who are taking chances in book writing, because we're small, we take a lot of, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 people to buy books for somebody to make $1.
Absolutely, sir. So we have the title of the book.
100 books sold in the body. You can't do that. You can't
The book is called King Elimat, Under the Breadfruit Tree, an autobiography available on Amazon for purchase. You heard it from the man himself, King Elimat. We thank you again so much for joining us today. All of the best to you, sir. It was truly an honor speaking with you.
And I thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to my fans, my friends, my family. Love you all. Love you all. It ain't but love coming from me. I don't hate. So tell Socrates we hate him and beat him again.
We feel it, so we feel it. Yes, good one, good one.
Alrighty.
Thank you, King Elimat. Take care. And thank all of you who tuned in today for joining us for another edition of Good Morning SKN right here on Studio 327. We're reminding you to follow us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and even TikTok. You're going to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And you know what else you have to do,
Yeah. Leave us a comment and tell us what topics and guests you'd like to see next. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. when you begin your Friday morning with us right here on Good Morning SKN. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Bye-bye.